Hi guys. Today's chapter will be about chapter number 7, meeting social expectations. I hope everybody's having a good day. And yeah, so first off, just talk a little bit about creating social identities. While I was reading this chapter, I noticed how we as people don't realize that we do have different identities depending on where we are until we start learning about it and we start learning about why we do it and and the different roles that we have. So, like in this picture, the same woman and she's carrying a baby, and on the other side, she is carrying her work bag. So, she has two different identities. One could be the one that she's a mom, and another one that she's professional worker. Just like us, we could have an identity for school, one for work, one at home. So to live a civilized life, we means we must be willing to live up to the social expectations that others have from us. We also believe that a large part of who we are and how we communicate is determined for us by social norms. So, um, one of the most powerful limits um, to our freedom comes with social roles, just like I mentioned right there. Every day we face new situations. And if we had to stop and decide how to act in each case, we'd have difficult time doing it. So it's something that comes out of us instantly. Luckily, we can appropriately, without thought, do it right away. We know that sometimes, depending on the position we are, we could act different. So, the definition of a position is a social label that tells people who we are, what our duties are, and where we stand in comparison to others. So, for example, some of the positions in society recognize occupational, like for example, a butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker. Others refer to placement in society, like family. So grandparent, parent, son, daughter. Still others indicate age, sex, or occasional groupings. In all cases, positions indicate location on the social map. So whether you are position at work, position at school, position in your family, it still indicates it's still indication um on the social map. So positions are not just empty titles. People are expected to take their position seriously. So like I said, at work, we're expected to do our job seriously, or at school, we're expected to do what is required of us. Um, so the guidance of behaviors set out for us by societies are rules. So rules are set of expectations that govern how people holding a given position should behave. So, for example, like um, if we're at work, we're going to behave a certain way or act a certain way. Um, Roles are also learned. We aren't born knowing what roles are or the knowledge of roles. We learn to meet expectations in the much same way we learn to ride a bicycle or color coordinate crayons or anything like that. We learn by observing others. So, just like I said, we learn by watching our parents do it. Roles are generalized guidelines for behavior, while roles give us the general idea of how to perform in a given position. They don't spell out every move. So it's just like a general guideline of how to behave. It doesn't like tell us detail to detail. Um, Third, roles affect beliefs about ourselves. It takes time to learn a role, but after a role, the strangeness wears off. So eventually people stop noticing their roles. So eventually you stop noticing that you actually have a role. It kind of becomes normal. Like for example, a first year teacher may initially feel um weird about her authority, but it will probably not be long enough until she begins to believe in the fact that she is a teacher. So lastly, 4, people have multiple roles to play. People fill a number of positions simultaneously, sorry. This means they must be um moving between role to role. Like I said, at home, the lady in the first picture could be a mom, and like quickly once she gets to work, she has to be professional and move into that role right away. Um, just like another example could be an intern in a hospital must be a number of different people. Like at work, she is a doctor. At home, she is a wife. At a party, she could be a friend, a neighbor, and for the town that where she lives in, she could be a citizen. So those are just a few examples of different roles that we automatically take without even noticing at times. And then while we do have many different roles, role identities, some are more important than the others. Just depends what your values are. Um, this affects communication by um, in every in every in every conversation, depending on the role you have, is what you're going to talk about. So the reason roles are of interest to us in communication is that they affect our communication with one another. Embedded in every role are instructions of how to talk and what to talk about. So, like I said, we can't talk about um, things about being a mom at work if you're trying to be professional or things like that. So, yeah, that's the basics about meeting social expectations. Thank you.